Hi everyone, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I'm really excited to be launching Wayscape Wednesdays, which is a series of videos I'll be releasing on a bi-weekly basis on topics related to organizational culture and behavior, the future of work, and leadership and management. To introduce myself, I help organizations identify and remove internal structural and systemic barriers so that they can grow their business. I do this through coaching, consulting, and facilitation of sessions. For today, I want to talk about an issue that seems to be growing instead of resolving itself. It's funny, I went on vacation for a month and I came back thinking that this particular issue would be old news, and instead it seems to have continued to flare up. I want to talk about hybrid. So when I look at this hybrid issue, I see it in a very different light. So what I want to offer today is a different perspective. When I look at our environment, our current work environment, what I see are managers who are dealing with incredible pressure. They're delivering extra workload, oftentimes due to labor shortages. They're having to pick it up. They're managing HR issues, including resignations, departures, employee burnout, not to mention dissatisfaction, disengagement, disenchantment within teams. They're also having to implement work arrangements, whether the organization has chosen remote by default, hybrid, or call back to the office full time. In the case of needing to call employees back to the office, they're doing this call out fully knowing that doing so is probably going to exacerbate some of those HR issues that they're already dealing with, because employees, for the most part, have no appetite to return. And so they're doing this call out knowing that this will further exacerbate departures, disengagement, etc. So what's interesting is we're responding to this incredible pressure by doubling down on work arrangement as the problem to solve, whereas I don't think hybrid or work arrangement is the problem to solve. I think the problem to solve is actually how we manage people. So if I take a step back, we've for decades have been using a command and control type of management. And so the boss tells us what to do and we execute as per direction. In a command and control environment, labor is seen as commodity. In this environment, leadership is authoritative. Decisions are made at the top by senior management. We're focused on process instead of outcome. And in this environment, over the last few decades, we've been very much driven by optimization. And in efforts to optimize, we've done things like replace employees by contractors, gig workers, and in some cases, technology solutions. And then the world gets hit by a devastating pandemic. Our knowledge workers, administrators are sent home with their laptops and told to make it work. And they do. They log in, they show up, they contribute. But over the last couple of years, we've had a lot of time to think and to reevaluate. And for some of us, that reevaluation led to thoughts like, wait a second, all of those perks that my employer was giving me, they were actually really meant to keep me working longer hours. And those longer hours kept me from my family, my friends, and the activities that I love. Or for some of us, thoughts along the lines of, I was on autopilot going from home to school to the office and back again, and then logging in as soon as my kids went to bed. What was I doing all that for? Thoughts along the lines of, is this really all there is? Is this really what I want? And so employees have had 2+ years to do this reassessment of what's really important to them. I think where we've maybe missed the ball is employers need to figure out where they stand in relation to this reassessment and conduct their own reassessment. And that reassessment doesn't start and end with where an employee puts their laptop on any given day. That reassessment should look like questions along the lines of, is our approach really getting the most out of our people? Is it really motivating them to contribute? Why should people work with us? Why should they choose us? Why should they give us their time, their skills, their knowledge, their expertise, their ideas? How can we do better? So these types of questions starts that flip from this command and control mentality to more of a people-centric mentality. It's recognition that the way to results is through people. It's a call to care about, train, empower the people that are giving us their time and their contributions. And so in a more people-centric environment, what we have is labor is seen as people, as humans, and not as commodities. Hierarchies can be flattened. Individuals are empowered to make decisions, which starts to resolve some of the excessive bureaucracy that's settled in some organizations and helps it run more efficiently and effectively. We can build relationships between peers, managers, executives, and we allow people to feel like their work matters, which is so core to us as human beings. We want to feel like what we do actually matters. So we're focusing on hybrid as the problem to solve, and the media is doing a fantastic job of offering up as the thing that we need to solve, but we're solving for the wrong problem. What we really need to look at is our management styles, our leadership styles. Does it align with our current environment and the needs of the people who are working with us? Over the last 2 years, people have very loudly communicated that they are human beings worthy of being valued for who they are and what they contribute. We can either respond by holding on to old beliefs, or we can listen and we can respond with change. So for the next couple of weeks, I want to offer videos that provide strategies, tips, techniques, approaches that represent that people-centric style of management, things that you can adopt and do in a very concrete way that starts that flip from command and control to more people-centric. So I hope you'll click on these videos. I want these videos to be an opportunity for dialogue, and so please respond with your ideas, your own experiences, your own perspectives, so that we can get a conversation going that takes it away from hybrid specifically and more into what does management and leadership need to look like for us to flourish as organizations, as communities, as society. And so until next time, thanks again for clicking, and I hope you'll continue to do so.